So the other three men leave and feel that they have learned a lesson about the survival. And now it's time for all of our guests for today to introduce themselves in detail to the audiences. So we'll start with Dr. Ratna. Hi, Dr. Ratna.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, so good evening to all of you. So basically, my name is Dr. Ratna Kandan. I'm currently working as a senior lecturer at UPM under the Faculty of Education. So actually, I've been teaching literature for the past about 10 years. So I'd like to pass on to Professor Nadra. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ragnar and Ms. Moderator. I feel humble and honored to be invited to this forum. I am Professor Nadra Emeritus. I am also from University Putra Malaysia, and I have 20 years experience in teaching literature. So I am compelled to share this amazing story with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Nadra. Next to Director Li Ping.
Hi, thank you for your invitation. Hello, everyone. I'm Chen Liping, a new young director. Maybe you don't know me yet, but I believe that when my new movie, The Open Boat, is released, through the wonderful film, everyone will have a deeper understanding of me, especially my skills in framing. Thank you.
You're welcome, Director Li Ping. Move to our actress, Miss Shang Nan.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Zhang Shengnan. I played the role of correspondent in this film. It's my honor to attend the forum. Thank you for your invitation.
Thank you to all of you for the introduction. So before we proceed to more in depth of this novel, I would like to ask questions to Dr. Ratna. Could you share with us the background of the author of this open boat?
Yeah, sure. So basically, the title of this short story is The Open Boat. And the author's name is actually Stephen Crane. So he is an American citizen. So he was born in Newark, New Jersey on 1st of November, 1871. So basically he then pursued his high school at Port Jervis in New York. So basically Crane then he attended military school at Clayfrack College, where he pursued an interest in Civil War studies. So he later spent some semesters at Lafayette College and then carried on to Syracuse University. During these years, which he was mainly concerned with freelance writing and the prospect of becoming a novelist. So in 1891, Crane then he moved to New York City, where he supported himself by writing for the New York Tribune. So basically in 1897, Crane decided to leave New York to become a war correspondent. Basically, while covering the Cuban Revolution, Crane met Cora Taylor, the landlord of a Florida hotel and a brothel center. So the couple then eventually moved to England as common husband and wives. So while covering the war in Cuba in 1897, Crane was shipwrecked at sea off the Florida coast. So due to this, he was stranded at sea for about 30 hours with 3 other men, who eventually rowed to shore on a small lifeboat. So one of the men, an oiler named Billy Higgins, drowned in the surf while trying to swim to shore. So Crane then later turned the experience into what many consider his greatest short story, known as The Open Boat in 1897. So basically for the rest of his life, he continued to work as a journalist and war correspondent, so using his experiences as the basis for his fiction. So, however, he was then unable to return to New York because of his clash with the police. So Crane spent most of his last years in England, where he lived beyond his means. So that's all from me for this part. I'll pass on to Elena, please. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ratna. So since all of us already know the summary and the background of the author of the novel, so now I would like to ask the Professor Nadra. So what is your opinion on this novel, The Open Boat?
Thank you, Miss Elena. Okay, at first, after reading this story, it was a little tough for me to understand the implicit meaning of it. even though the author uses quite a simplistic plot. However, after I read again and again and I did some research, I realized that it's not only a story about 4 men surviving in a boundless sea. Okay, it is more about the nature and the relationship between them and how the nature actually acts like. And the ending of the story also was a bit unpredictable too. Personally, I don't really like the ending, but it is what it is. We have to accept the indifference of nature to their situation and the feeling. And I think Stephen Crane is a great author because in just a few pages of irony and metaphor, he managed to address both the shortcoming and strength of these foremen. Okay, we follow their efforts to get to the shore after they have spotted land, but they became discouraged as they realized that no rescue coming, and their fate is fully controlled by uncaring universe. So there are sorrow, fear, frustration, and desperation along the way. And I also like the way the author introduced the characters, because he's suggesting in the process each of their roles on the boat. Even though they are exhausted from their efforts to stay alive, they still abide by a hierarchy. For instance, the captain who is injured gives directions, while the cook bails out the water collecting at the bottom of the boat. The correspondent and the oiler take turns at the oar. So they know their own role. Okay, even though they didn't say it aloud, they value the sense of brotherhood that has developed among these desperate men. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Professor Nadra, for the insights. So next, I would like to ask our Miss Director, Director Li Ping, what do you think of this novel and what inspired you to direct this movie?
Yeah, the first